Discover solutions to issues that affect your family and professional life with practical information to help you get past life's adversities. Take a proactive approach to power up your life with Rosalie's expert resources.
Researchers trace the origin of spring cleaning back to the 19th century in America prior to the invention of the vacuum cleaner. Springtime offered the best time for dusting because it was warm enough to open the windows and the doors and let the old stale air blow out and the dust as well. Today, a new survey finds 3 out of 5 Americans plan to organize or refresh their living space this year. And the cleaning frenzy can offer an opportunity to profit from your efforts. Here to explain how technology can help you make money while clearing out your closets is consignment expert Linda Lightman, who has built a multi-million-dollar business selling other people's clothing, shoes, accessories, and more. Good morning, Linda.
Good morning, Rosalie. Thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure, Linda. You believe that in most homes, people can find goods no longer used and of importance and sell them to earn an extra $3,000. So how do you determine what to keep, toss, or sell?
So Rosalie, I did a show called I Can Find $3,000 in Your Home, and we went around the country and we identified items in people's homes that would make them money, and we crushed that $3,000 number. Crushed it. I believe we all are sitting on cash that we can make if we simply purge. So embrace the purge. It's spring. No better time to clean out than now. Go into your closet. Identify those items that you no longer want, wear, or use. Maybe you haven't worn it in 6 months. Now is the time to get rid of it. And here's an interesting statistic. People tend to wear 20% of their clothing 80% of the time, leaving lots to sell and make money. So right there, just from your closet, you're going to make money. It could even be a wedding gift that you got, or an engagement gift, a Christmas gift. The art of regifting is done. Let's sell the things that we no longer want, or gifts that we are not going to use, and make the money. Who among us wouldn't want to make money?
There's got to be a science to this. So teach us how to coordinate selling items you don't want while cleaning and organizing.
So I think you have to set aside some time, right? Maybe it's a rainy day and you're sitting home and you're going to get in your closet or your garage or your kitchen and you're going to identify those items that you want to sell. I think that it's going to take you longer to clean out than it is going to sell. The act of selling your items on your own is so easy, and it's never been easier. eBay has a built-in audience of 167 million buyers, making it virtually simple, and there's a buyer for everything. And I'm going to give you tips that anybody can do and be their own entrepreneur to sell their items.
So share those tips to clean and decide what to sell and how to price an item.
Okay, ready? So here are the tips for selling. You want to take a great picture. The picture says it all. Get a great picture on a crisp white background, put a dress on a mannequin, or maybe sometimes you want to set a lifestyle setup. Like, think about the way people set up Instagrams. We wanted to sell, when I was doing the show, somebody's outdoor furniture, and we set the table so that it would look beautiful and that buyer could envision themselves having a barbecue at that table. That's what you want to do. So you want to get a great picture. You want to describe the item, measure it, show any flaws. After you do all of that, be prepared to answer questions from potential buyers because they're going to ask questions and they want to have a good experience. So answer those questions. They want to know real people are there to help. After you've done all that, I guarantee you're going to sell that item. Be prepared to ship it quickly. Be prepared to ship it cheaply and or for free if possible.
So Linda, what items will surprise our viewers that they could sell?
So consider this, Rosalie. Before you toss out your pre-owned sneakers or shoes, consider that a pair of women's shoes sells on eBay every 8 seconds. So don't toss them, sell them. Pre-owned Adidas are trending. It could be Lululemon items. It could be electronics. Louis Vuitton is selling for over $500. Canada Goose is selling for over $300. Your smartphones are selling on eBay every 5 seconds. I just sold a tea kettle for 80 bucks. I was really thrilled. Take the great picture, describe, go through your closet, get rid of items that you no longer want, use, or wear, and be prepared to make money.
Help us, Linda, by inspiring us to refresh our living spaces.
So go online, Rosalie, go online, look to see what items are trending. I talked about sneakers, athleisure, Lululemon. Look to see what things are selling. Go on my site, shoplindasstuff.com or ebay.com/sell. See what's selling and see what those items are selling for. You'll have a sense of what you're going to fetch, and you're going to be sitting pretty happy when you start making money.
So the whole concept is very easy. You clean, you organize, you sell the item that you no longer want, and then you make money to buy something new that you need or want.
Exactly, and make room for new.
Thanks, Linda, for joining us this morning and sharing your unique, successful strategy to sell items that are in your home that you don't use at the right price to make selling profitable and seamless.
Thanks, Rosalie.
Planning a family vacation? Consider one of the 158 Florida state parks that feature anything from museums to gardens, even whole islands and vast wildlife areas running along Florida waterways to go canoeing or kayaking. And state parks open every day from 8 a.m. to sunset. So if you're ready for an affordable summer getaway, think RV destinations in Florida or beyond. Listen up to family travel experts, former Miami Dolphin Keith Sims and his wife Tia Sims, mom in charge, who are ready to share their top 5 tips for a fun, comfortable, and cost-effective RV vacation. Good morning, Keith and Tia.
Good morning, Rosalie. And thank you for that wonderful introduction. That was incredible.
There is so much freedom in jumping in an RV and going on an RV vacation, and the loveliness of its mobility to go anywhere you want, when you want. But what other advantages are there to going RVing?
How much time do we have? There's so many advantages to RVing in your vacations. For us, number one, it's flexibility. You've got an opportunity to see so many sites, and you can change your destination, your route at any given time. We also have, as far as meal planning, you get an opportunity to eat local, explore the area culinary-wise, and our kids get a chance to interact with us as far as where they get to go and what they get to do.
And how many times have you gone on a vacation and you, the hotel bed is not comfortable, or you forget something at home that you normally would have every day? Part of your morning routine. You can have all of that with you, traveling with you, just by bringing your own RV or renting an RV.
If you want to plan an RV trip, what should a take-charge woman like myself consider before choosing a campground destination?
Wow, that's a very personal question. It depends on what makes you comfortable. What are you going out to do? Are you an explorer? Would you like to explore the wilderness? Would you like to go to the beach? There are some beautiful beach camping options in Florida that we've even taken advantage of. And so you just have to say, what am I looking to get out of this vacation? And there's a campground, I guarantee it, that will suit all of your needs.
Campground, state park, for us, the flexibility of RVing is probably the biggest key. It allows us to go, like you said, from beaches to state parks to the mountains like Smoky Mountains. So you have something for everybody and something to do for everybody.
So how do you know what type of RV is best for you and your family's vacation needs?
Well, I think to get started, if you don't own an RV today, you can rent them. They're very easy to do. You can go to GoRVing.com. They have a tremendous amount of information on what different types of RV may be best for your family, campgrounds, locations, blogs. We're bloggers on GoRV. We have an opportunity to go out and see what people are doing with their RV. So I would start there. It's about getting started. And truly, there's an RV for every budget out there. So don't let that be a deterrent for you.
You both describe yourselves as not your typical RV family. And you're excited to educate our viewers, especially African Americans, about the RV lifestyle. So what makes your family an atypical RV family, and what do you want others to learn from your travel experiences?
I mean, quite frankly, just the fact that we're out here is not typical. When I decided to tell my friends and family this is what we wanted to do, this was our option, they looked at me like I was crazy. No one that I know had ever gone camping or RVing. So this is something, it's a new ground we've broken into that, that just wasn't really open to our community. And it's sad because it's so affordable, it's so accessible to everyone. And you don't really need a $500,000 coach to go out and RV. All you need is, it's just like renting a hotel room. You know, sometimes the campgrounds will have cabins or rental coaches or RVs that you can go out and just take a spin in it.
And for us, you know, to really open up the entire country to us, our kids are homeschooled, and we allow them to pick a destination, and they will study that destination. And there's nothing like studying Mount Rushmore, a trip we took a couple summers ago, and then going and seeing and experiencing it and exploring it firsthand.
So what tips can you both share that can help make an RV family vacation fun and affordable?
Oh, it is. I mean, we've gone whitewater rafting in the Smoky Mountains. I've taken my son canoeing down the rivers in South Carolina. We've been hiking in the rocks of the coast of Maine. I mean, experiences that we never dreamed of before we got into RVing.
Definitely taken me out of my comfort zone, and it's been refreshing. We've been able to expose our kids to a whole lot more than we ever could have imagined.
Where can our viewers learn more about planning the perfect RV vacation getaway?
Well, first of all, you can go, like I mentioned, GoRVing.com is a perfect place to start. There's tons of bloggers out there. We have a blog out there, SoulfulRVFamily.com. We just actually posted a blog on summer planning travel, so you can go there and take a look at that blog and just get started. I mean, I know a lot of people just like us, we did a lot of research and we hemmed and hawed for years before we got in. And that was our biggest mistake. If you're interested, get started today. It's easy, there's information out there, and go explore and enjoy. Join us out there.
I'm sure they would love to. Thank you, Keith and Tia, for joining us this morning to educate our viewers to family traveling and what you've learned along the road from your RV lifestyle that brings you joy to your soulful RV family.
Thank you so much.
You.
The post-recovery housing market may have disappointing price increases inching their way up. But market observers feel rising interest rates may dampen demand, though they don't anticipate a major pullback in buying. Here to reveal findings from a Owners.com survey and tips to maneuver higher interest rates is Scott McGilvery, internationally renowned star of HGTV and income property entrepreneur. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning.
Scott, your success lies in your passion to educate homeowners on making smart investment decisions. Share what was revealed in the new Owners.com survey.
You know what? There was some very interesting information revealed. One of the sort of most interesting, but not necessarily surprising statistics is that almost 85% of consumers now are willing to engage in the home buying and selling process through an online portal like Owners.com. So we are seeing that the majority of people are finally kind of adapting to the fact that the transaction process of real estate is evolving. And you know, real estate is so expensive, as you know, and it's only getting more expensive as we speak. The largest purchase you ever make is in real estate, and when you think about the transaction costs of doing that, it adds up to tens of thousands of dollars. So if there's a way to save some money or make some money through using a portal like Owners.com to buy or sell real estate, I mean, you're putting tens of thousands of dollars in your pocket. That incentive alone should be driving behavior towards adopting to this new trend.
All right, tell us, are there some easy tools to use on the website?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's a given. I mean, you go to owners.com, you're going to get articles, you're going to get tips, you're going to get guidance. You can also engage with a broker, so you've got all the help you need through the buying and selling process. But it's not done the conventional way. It's got flexible pricing, so you can kind of a la carte pick and choose how much help you want versus how much you're willing to do yourself. And one of the things that I'm an advocate of is to tell people to get out there and start doing the research. Unfortunately, we don't get a lot of training in the home buying process in our education system. I mean, you don't go to school and learn how to buy a home or learn how to get a mortgage or how to maximize the home buying process or how to do your research. This is something that you have to take responsibility for. And you get rewarded for it, which is the good news. For instance, myself, I do tons of transactions. I'm always buying and selling real estate. And for me, one of the most challenging aspects of it is the transactional fees. There's lots of commissions. It's crazy. So, and I know what I'm doing, but now at least I'm getting rewarded for it.
All right, what suggestions can you offer homeowners?
When I spend my time online researching properties or I've got people that do photography of my places. Whenever we finish a renovation, we get the professional photography done. I bank that until I may need to sell the property. Then I've got the best pictures possible. So when I put together my listing, I can do it through a portal like owners.com. And I save tens of thousands of dollars because I don't pay those huge commission rates. The other thing is if I'm buying through owners.com, because everybody knows you can research online and you can see pretty much every listing available, whether it's an MLS listing, whether it's an exclusive listing, they're all there on owners.com. If you're purchasing through that portal, there's select markets, like in Florida, where you get a rebate for making your purchase through there because you're getting basically rewarded for doing the work yourself, and that's like 1.5% of the purchase price rebated. So it pays to be prepared.
What time investments should potential homeowners spend in search for a new home?
Well, the owners.com survey was showing that people on average who are engaging in the home buying or selling process are spending 1 to 3 hours a day online. That's a lot of time when you think about it. And I would say at minimum spend an hour a day if you're actively looking or trying to sell, because you want to know what's happening. You want to be able to recognize changes. You want to see what listings are coming up, which ones are going down, what other properties are being listed for. Ideally, you're understanding what other properties are selling for, so you have proper comparables for your home. And you really, as I'm telling you, I believe that we're seeing rising prices in the near future, despite what's going on with interest rates. And I think that we're also going to see things like bidding wars coming up. And so if you're not sort of on the cusp of what's happening, you're going to lose out. And if you're not prepared, you may get taken advantage of.
Speaking of bidding wars, I hear home buyers are offering more than the asking price just to get the house of their dreams. Is this becoming the new normal?
It's hard to say that it's the new normal, but it's a trend that we see come and go every 10 years or so. The reality is the last time that nationwide we saw a major, competitive real estate market was in 2006, 2007. And here we are 10 years later. It's natural that at this point we'd start to see similarities popping up. So I think the next few years you're going to have to get used to the fact that properties are going to start selling faster, that prices are going to go up. It's always going to be a struggle to get into the real estate market if you're not already into it. And when these types of scenarios happen, if you're not prepared and you don't know what you're doing, if you're not spending that time researching online, you could get yourself into a tough situation because there may not be an opportunity to put in conditions of home inspections or to verify your financing options. You need to be pre-qualified with your financing. You need to be watching online because a property that you love may come available, but if you're not one of the first to the table, it might be gone before you even knew it.
Today's homebuyers face financial distress due to affordability, in addition to bidding wars. So how will federal interest rates affect future homebuyers?
Well, obviously it depends what market that you're in. I think that there are certain markets for sure where we are seeing increased demand, and inventories having trouble keeping up. And there are other markets where we're seeing a little bit of overdevelopment still. Some people are getting, some developers are getting a little excited. They've had plots that have been designated for quite some time and they've been waiting to build. They're trying to take advantage of the demand that's there right now. So it will be interesting to see how both of those scenarios, along with interest rate decisions, how it all pans out.
Share some good news about Florida property. We know northern Florida is not spiking property values as fast as South Florida. So what do you see for the entire state of Florida?
Well, I spent a lot of time in Southwest Florida. I have a home there, and my family and I, we were there last week, and I'll be actually filming in Southern Florida this year for my new show. So I'm excited to be working in that area, and we've seen some huge transitions over the last couple of years, from Miami up to Boca, kind of everything in between. We've seen a tremendous amount of appreciation and demand and some really great opportunities there. And then from Tampa all the way down to Naples in Southwest Florida, we're starting to see huge, like some isolated areas really peaking, especially south of Fort Myers there. The amount of development going on is amazing. And properties that we were buying there 5-6 years ago have almost doubled in value, some of them at this point. So there's a lot of interesting things happening. Whether you're a home buyer or a real estate investor, there's going to be some fantastic opportunities. It's one of the reasons why I'm bringing my show to Florida this year, is because it's hard to ignore how amazing some of these opportunities are.
Thanks, Scott, for joining us this morning and offering our viewers valuable information to make a sound home buying investment.
Thank you.
On July 5, 2011, a jury found Casey Anthony not guilty of first-degree murder, aggravated child abuse, and aggravated manslaughter of her 2-year-old daughter, Kaylee. Though Casey was convicted of 4 counts of providing false information to law enforcement, 2 counts were later overturned. Casey was convicted of lying, not murder. Joining us this morning is investigative journalist Steph Watts, an expert in true crimes and justice television that focuses on missing persons, unsolved murders, and cold cases. Steph is here to share new direction in the Casey Anthony case. Good morning, Steph.
Good morning, Rosalie. How are you?
I feel great, thank you. Steph, how can any mother or parent forget this Florida murder case of a 2-year-old little girl that was never solved, and now, years later, this high-profile murder mystery has resurfaced? Why is that?
Well, Rosalie, I think what resonated about this story is at the center of this story, regardless of all the drama and everything that went on, is a beautiful 2-year-old child who was murdered. And to this day, remember, we don't know what day she died, cause or manner of death. Everybody believed, as the story unfolded, that they thought they knew who did this. However, as you know, a jury of 12 did not convict Casey Anthony for the murder of her daughter. So to this day, this case remains unsolved, and there's this sense in the public of they want answers and they want closure for what happened to little Kaylee Marie Anthony.
Yes, and this case is now taking a new direction to re-examine the key players and their puzzling actions and bizarre motives that changed by the moment behind the scenes of this murder case of a little girl. So what's new?
Well, what's interesting, Rosalie, as you know, as a journalist, now that she can't be charged again, as you know, remember, it's clear, Casey Anthony cannot be charged with this crime. So 9 years later, people are more willing to open up and talk about what happened, what went wrong, and who they think did this. I mean, even the Judge Perry's come forward and says, well, it's more than likely that she being Casey Anthony, probably did this. We have an incredible interview with George and Cindy Anthony. Now remember, this is the first time that I sat down with them separately and talked to them for hours, and they opened up to me very candidly about what they believe happened to their granddaughter, and they have very different views on how she died and who did it.
So, Steph, what's your sense of feeling about the grandparents? What do you pick up on Kaylee's grandparents now?
Rosalie, I was on the ground on this case since day one. This story broke on July 15, 2008, and I was on the ground July 16th and basically never left. What I found shocked me the most was the witch hunt aspect of this on George and Cindy Anthony. From day one, people were driving by the house, shouting things, throwing things at the house. I was horrified as a journalist. Look, our job is to be camped outside there. I've got to do live shots. That, we're intrusive alone, but to see the people do this to them, they're victims in this story. I mean, they were thrust into the spotlight. They're dealing with this incredible story of their granddaughter being missing for 30 days, not knowing where she is, clinging to hope that she's still alive, being told she was abducted, which gives parents hope, and then finding out months later that she was murdered and her body was within walking distance of their home. I see George and Cindy as victims in this story. They did whatever they had to do at that time, given the information that they knew, to protect their family. And they're going to come out in this special, particularly on Tuesday night when they do the tell-all, with some shocking statements and new information, and they're very candid with me, and I really appreciated them sitting down with me and being as candid as they were.
So have the parents disconnected from their daughter, Casey, totally?
I'm going to leave that part of the bombshell question, a great question. I'm going to leave the answer to that to have to watch the special and see. Let me tell you this. I'll give you this. They have very different opinions on their daughter.
All right, so where can we learn more about Casey Anthony's An American Murder Mystery?
Please go to ID, Investigations Discovery website. They've got fantastic teaser clips. I watched some of them last night, and I was actually surprised at how much they had online. I was fascinated and riveted with what they were sharing. So go to ID, investigationsdiscovery.com.
All right, thanks, Steph, for joining us to update our viewers on the new direction in this investigation taking place right here in Florida. And remember, Floridians are interested. So thanks so much for all your great investigative work.
Appreciate you, Rosalie. Thank you.
Florida's housing market's healthier growth translates into every part of our economy, helping families in Florida make sound financial decisions, from property investments to travel and entertainment. Organizing our lives by assessing our family's needs is key to a safe and secure Florida lifestyle. Share with us your plans to invest in your family's future to meet their lifestyle needs at facebook.com/Rose Lee Show, or follow us on Instagram at The Rose Lee Show. And watch this episode and many others here at ION Television or 24/7 at RoseleeArcherShow.com. Thanks for joining us this morning, and we do look forward to seeing you soon.